But first, let's talk about what's hot now. I must say, extremely sexy, Liliana. Yeah,
Thank
hello.
you. Thank
You all
you.
look very nice.
Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, getting in the mood, right? Thanksgiving less than a week away. I cannot believe it.
Wow.
Butterball's Turkey Hotline is open and ready for your emergency calls. Anybody ever call that hotline? You ever had to do it? A few of you? Yeah? All right.
You haven't called the hotline.
You all call. I love this hotline because everyone stresses out about cooking the bird, but you won't believe some of the craziest questions they've been asked. These are all true questions. How do I roast a turkey so it has golden brown tan lines like a bikini?
I've always wondered
People
that.
actually do
put
that.
an
And the
underwear on
answer,
it?
no, it's the strategic placement of foil. So you can actually place the foil.
You
Yes.
can make it look like a girl in a
Yes.
bikini?
Yes.
I don't want a turkey with a bikini on.
I
That
do.
means it's undercooked. It's a little white
I'm just
underneath.
saying the questions I get. Why doesn't my turkey have breast meat? The answer is turn it over. You cooked it upside down.
Oh.
I have done that.
See?
And then this is my very favorite one. I carved my turkey with a chainsaw. Is the chainsaw grease going to adversely affect my turkey?
Oh my
That's a big turkey.
And the answer is don't eat that turkey. That's gonna be bad. Have you ever had a major mistake at Thanksgiving, like big time?
Not really. I mean, I've definitely
Do you
tasted
make-
other people's turkeys that they made a mistake, a little too dry.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when they leave the bags in of all the little, giblets.
I've done that.
Giblets. Yeah, so it's all
It should
plastic.
come with a note on it. Look inside.
does.
And it does?
It does. On the outside, it
Read
says
the fine
look in.
print.
It says read
Because
the fine
I've
print.
cooked it with the plastic.
Was
Yeah.
that messy?
It just, it smelled. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But I cook with those, so those things have to come out. That goes in my gravy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Then you,
yeah.
like marinate that little
Yeah, you
sucker with
should.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tasty. Everyone's like, huh?
I don't know. Thanksgiving is always awkward for me because you go to people's houses and I'm a big girl. They expect me to eat their food, and it's true. It's like, oh God, I gotta eat it and make it like it tastes really, really good.
Where is he?
Did
The
you want
man.
to play the phone? She's done this.
The Yamanika fan
But
club. of that.
it's a lot of pressure. I mean, I remember I went in on. I had never had pig feet before, and it was just
Pig feet?
Yeah,
On
at
Thanksgiving?
I
Like
didn't
pickled
realize
pig
it was
feet.
pig feet until I saw like a hair on the knuckle or something. and I was like,
Wait, who serves pig feet at Thanksgiving?
Everybody in my family is like from the South, so they
Southerners.
love
Really?
pig. And I try to avoid the stuff that they put down that I can't identify, but it looked like a nice little tenderloin. It wasn't
like a nugget. It looks like a
Yeah,
nugget.
it was delicious.
Really?
But
Yeah.
then when I found out it was a pig foot, I was like, oh my God, I hope you ain't had athlete's feet.
Oh.
But I do have a question for Butterball. Like, you know when you do the wishbone, everyone do the wishbone from
Yeah.
the turkey, everything. Do they guarantee those wishes?
No, they don't.
Because mine didn't come true last year. That's all I'm saying.
Extra
Yes, I
wishbone.
agree.
Yeah.
Butterball should sell like a little bag
I
of wishbones
agree.
so everyone at the table can break them because you always fight over it.
Yeah, but
You
growing
know?
up,
part
we
of
always...
That's a lot
Holiday
of turkey,
tradition.
though. Like a lot of.
But holiday tradition should not involve fighting over
Yeah,
wishbones.
that's part of the holidays. You have to fight. You get drunk and you fight.
Yeah. That sucker has to dry for a while in order to crack it just right. It's all about the drying for the wishbone.
And aren't the secret is you get the little in first, right? I mean, you always get the big in and you take the little.
Mighty but
Cheater.
strong.
Secret.
All right, let's move on. Us Weekly is reporting that Blake Shelton has invited his new girlfriend, Gwen Stefani, and her 3 sons to spend Thanksgiving at his home in Oklahoma. Very nice. There you go. The source does not know if Gwen has accepted, but it does bring up a good question. When is the right time to introduce your family to a significant other?
So I went really early.
What do you mean you went really
my
early?
husband, I knew him 3 weeks. We didn't know each other well. My parents were renewing their 30th wedding anniversary in
took
Hawaii, and I invited him. And he got there. My dad was crying to the ceremony. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I should not be here." He almost ran out. He was like, "Why did I come to this?" It was a free trip to Hawaii, so he came. But it's a little too soon, don't you think? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
We're married. It worked out.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
relative.
but you didn't know that. You mean...
No, I was too love struck. I'm like, we're gonna be in Hawaii. It's gonna be sassy and fun.
you were single adults. Like I think it's different when you have children. I think
Yeah.
sometimes
Oh, yes.
that happens too soon when people start introducing the new significant other to the kids. And
Yeah.
you know,
And you really shouldn't until you're sure,
You're
because you're
very
sending a lot of
nervous.
mixed
'Cause you don't
messages
wanna
to
set-
kids.
Like I know
Right.
when my mom first started dating after my parents' divorce, I didn't even meet a boyfriend, and I was an adult at the time. I didn't meet one of her boyfriends till almost 5 years later.
Really?
Yeah, because it just wasn't. She didn't want her children to get attached to someone,
Right.
and she didn't want us to meet men. She wanted us to meet someone that she was serious about.
That's smart of your
Right.
mom. That's
Yeah.
you're gonna meet the one.
Well, Blake Shelton, I guess his divorce is finalized, but hers is not. So
I mean, that's just sad. I mean, it's and then you put the kids in, and it makes, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, with or without kids, if you getting divorced in the same year that you introducing a new person, that's way too soon, in my opinion.
But you don't know how long that relationship was over. That could have been over years ago. You know?
And let's not forget the allegations. I mean, Gwen is, you know, supposedly he did cheat with a nanny, so
Right.
I'm happy to see her move on. That's horrible to go through for her, so I'm happy she's with
Hopefully
Blake.
they have a nice Thanksgiving.
I think Thanksgiving with Blake Shelton would be very nice. All right. Hopefully they have found love, but for those of you who haven't, there is always my favorite show, The Bachelor.
But you're
Just
addicted.
recently.
I am addicted. I know, and I consider myself intelligent. But I don't know.
But it's a train wreck that you can't look away from.
And I also, you know, I begin by saying, oh, this is so stupid. And then you start to care about the people, and everybody wants love, you know.
The producers do such a good job with the storytelling.
casting is great,
I mean, it's
yeah.
like watching the best romantic comedy ever. I mean, some of those scenes, you're just like going like this and laughing at them.
Yeah,
And last season, when Ben H walked out of the limo, I called it, asked my husband, that's going to be our next Bachelor. I knew from
the beginning?
You even
first
remember that
episode.
it's Ben H.
Huh?
You remember that it's
Yeah.
Ben H because there were two Bens.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's Ben H, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the Bachelor.
He's
Look
too
at him.
young
He's so
for
sweet.
me. He's not for me. I mean, I'm not looking, but
Are you gonna tell us something?
no. But he seems so innocent. He doesn't like have that edge. Maybe he'll develop an edge very quickly.
When he starts
But
making
he's
out
so
with
sweet.
25 women.
I know exactly.
They all get an
exactly.
edge as the season progresses.
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
get a little sassy in that one-on-one room. No?
What's the matter? You don't watch?
I've not watched not an episode.
Nothing?
All right.
I don't even think I watched a commercial for the thing. This is like the first time I've ever heard about it, I guess. I mean, it's not my thing. In 20 seasons, it's no diversity on the thing. I mean, I want to see a little diversity on the show.
Well, that's a great point. Yeah. They have
It hasn't
an
for me at all.
contestant who is,
They always do the token thing, you know,
exactly.
but it is true. There needs to be so much more diversity in this. And
A little bit older.
They can start with putting me on The Bachelorette.
there you go.
Because I'm single, you know.
No.
I would go on there and I wouldn't even give out roses. I give out like a turkey leg or something. We eat together.
A wishbone?
You actually had the opportunity, Lance. They
Yeah,
approached
but,
you.
I
When
mean,
was
years
that?
ago, you know, before they knew I was gay, they asked me if I would be interested in being the Bachelor.
How'd you answer that one?
I said no, not at all. I was like,
That's a way to come out.
I don't want to come out on the
You
Bachelor.
could have really surprised them.
About diversity, right? That would be a great show.
I want to switch gears and talk about the first time you date somebody, because a very interesting article about this woman. She wrote for Cosmo magazine that she feels her life was put at risk because she wasn't allowed to start dating until she was in her 20s. It's the way she was raised. She had some very abusive relationships with the men she dated in her 20s and thinks they could have been avoided if she'd had more experience with relationships when she was younger. Her parents wouldn't allow her to do that. She didn't even have any intuition when it came to men. So I know, Yamanika, you started dating at 25, I think you said?
Yeah, I was 25 when I started dating and lost my virginity at 27. And, you know, I had come from a very religious background. I don't
Do you understand what she's talking about?
I understand to a certain extent. I think we do know the difference between an abusive relationship and not to be in one, regardless of how long it took you to get to the dating status. But for me, when I was 25 dating for the first time, there was such a learning curve that I didn't have that all my friends had. They knew how to kind of manipulate men and kind of get men to do what they want. I was like an innocent little lamb. Like,
You were naive.
I didn't know what to do. So I definitely think if I had a daughter, I would want her to start, you know, dating, not getting, you know, be promiscuous, but I would like to see her have at least relationships with guys a little bit younger than I did. Maybe like 16 or 17, I think is appropriate. Not 25, I think that's too late.
Yeah.
Because you got to catch
Do you
up.
remember your first kiss? I mean, I remember everything, including what I was wearing, the whole thing, yeah?
Was it a good first kiss? Because mine wasn't.
It was, really?
No, there was braces on both.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a lot of saliva. It was in a movie theater.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was almost traumatic. It kind of took me a long time to have a
How old
second
were you
kiss.
at that point?
I was in 8th grade.
8th grade,
Yeah,
okay,
I was
yeah,
in 8th grade.
yeah.
What was
Mine
yours
was
like?
Spin the Bottle.
Mine was, yours was Spin the Bottle?
In the bottle, yeah.
cute.
The first time it landed on the person, you gave him a peck. The second one, you had to peck him on the lips. And the third time, you had to go for the French kiss.
Really? Where'd you do this, in your basement?
No, we didn't have a basement. No, it was at a friend's house. It was in 6th grade. You know, we started
Wow.
early. Oh,
Sixth
yeah,
grade.
6th grade.
Mine was after a dance in 7th grade, and I had a dress that was stripes, and I had on yellow tights, which is not a good look. Not a good look. And the boy's name was Michael Bear. I'll never forget. And he walked me to the parking lot, and he leaned me against a tree. I remember this. And he kissed me, and and then he started calling me, and my father hung up on him, said, never call again. That was the end of him. But I do. It's just that wonderful moment. Anyway. Which brings me to my next question, what do you find sexy? To go along with their Sexiest Man Alive issue, People.com has released some interesting stats of what Americans find sexy and the sexiest accent. Megan, you have to say this because this is your thing.
Hello. I love a British accent. Hello. Any accent. I don't care what you look like.
That's not a British accent.
Hello?
Hello. Am I like Chim Chimney? Hello. Hello.
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't know any accent. I don't have to see your face, but if you're like
But if
Pierce
somebody called you and said, hello, you'd be like,
I'd be, hello. No, stop it. I like it. It's a turn on.
Very sexy.
I love exotic. In Australian
South African.
South African, Spanish. I love an
Hola.
accent.
Bonjour.
Hola.
¿Cómo se
¿Cómo
va?
está? Yes.
what do you think is the sexiest age for a man? Apparently, according to the survey, it's 37.
Woohoo! Yeah. All right.
I think a little older, like 40, 37,
Yeah,
40.
but a lot of people think at 40 it's a red flag. Why haven't you been married before? What's the matter with you?
I think that falls for mostly women. I think
Yeah.
men, and we were talking about, I think for men it's okay to be a little older and single. For women, it's sort of a red flag.
Oh,
Or
no,
what's wrong with
If
her?
you're George
Men-
Clooney.
you get
but-
that?
Yeah.
No, well, men, I'm on the prayer list at church, so they ain't worrying about me. But men get that question a lot because I think a lot of times when a man is like older, they go, "Oh, is he married?
Yeah. Have you been married?
It gets more
Yeah.
acceptable every year. It gets more acceptable for a woman not to be married and a man not to get married. So
And wait
I like
longer
it.
to get married, which is
Yeah.
good.